Hi, friends. We have a story today called Be Kind in All You Do. And that sounds familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Where have I heard that before? Oh, yeah. It's our second principle when we use the kids' version Be kind in all you do. So, this is a story about a little girl named Hannah. If Hannah had taken one more step, she would have crushed him. Luckily, she looked down at precisely the right moment. Oh, sorry, little guy. I didn't see you there. The little bee gave a half-hearted buzz in response. He was exhausted, which was why he was lying in the middle of the sidewalk in the first place. Hannah couldn't stand the thought of the bee staying on the sidewalk to be crushed under someone's shoe. She pulled a paper from her backpack and gently slid it under the bee. Then she used it to carry him home with her. "What have you got there?" her mother asked when she came in the door. "A bee," Hannah replied. "He needs help, and I am going to help him." "Well, then I will help you." She helped Hannah mix sugar and water on a teaspoon and set it on the counter next to the bee. Carefully, she nudged the bee up to the edge of the spoon, and they both watched in wonder as he extended his tiny tongue and began to drink. "He'll be ready to fly back to his family soon," Hannah's mother said. "We better put him outside." Just as carefully as she had brought him in, Hannah carried her little friend out to the garden. She set him down under a nice shady leaf and turned back inside for her after-school snack. The bee was still a bit dazed, but quickly regained strength. Just like Hannah's mother said, he was soon ready to fly back to his family, and boy did he have a story to tell. "It was amazing," he later told his friends. "There I was, lying on the sidewalk, totally sure I was going to be crushed under someone's shoe, and then, out of nowhere, this thing picked me up." "What happened next?" his friends asked. "I'm not really sure. The next thing I knew, I was drinking something sweet, and then the thing put me down and I started to feel better." "That's wild," said his friend. "I'm glad you're back. We have a whole lot of honey to make." Back at Hannah's house, she was helping her mother make the challah for Shabbat. "We usually braid it," Hannah said. "Why are you making it round?" "Because we're celebrating Rosh Hashanah," her mother said. "Jewish New Year. The round challah represents the circle of life. We'll dip it in honey for hopes for a sweet new year." "I'll get the honey," Hannah said. She rummaged through the cabinet of baking supplies and boxes of tea and eventually came up with an almost empty jar of honey. "Oh," said her mother, "looks like we'll need a new jar for the new year. Let's finish this and then we can go visit Kate." Kate was their neighbor and a beekeeper. Hannah was excited to tell her all about the bee she had met earlier that day. "He was just lying there on the sidewalk," Hannah told her excitedly. "I almost crushed him." "No way," said Kate, smiling. "What happened next?" Hannah told Kate all about her afternoon adventure as they walked together outside to look at the hives. When he saw Kate and Hannah coming, the bee turned to his friend. "That's it! Oh, it wasn't a thing. It was a person like Kate who saved me. That's them!" He flew up to get a better look while Kate was telling Hannah all about the bees. "So they collect nectar from flowers and bring it back here and turn it into honey. Then when they're done, I collect some of it and put it in jars for people like you and your mom. That's awesome. How—" But her question was cut off when a bee flew right in front of her face. "Oh, hi! Is that your friend?" Kate asked. "I can't be sure," Hannah replied, "but he sure does seem to know me." "Hi! I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for saving me," the bee exclaimed. But all Hannah heard was buzz, buzz, buzz. "Come on," said Kate. "It's getting late, and you'll want to be home and ready before Shabbat starts at sundown." Kate handed Hannah a jar of honey. "How much do we owe you?" Hannah's mom asked. This one's on the house for Hannah being so kind to our bee friend, Kate said. Happy New Year. That night, after the candles were lit and the prayers were said, Hannah dipped her challah in the honey, and it tasted sweeter than it ever had before.